Good evening, this is Nerfed the Human, and welcome back to our Rebels campaign here on Medieval 2 to War, and you join me outside of Deo, where the Pope still exists, by the way. They are currently the only remaining faction. We are at this stage about 10 turns away from the Mongols kind of showing up, or the warning popping up anyway. And, okay, the Pope, I have been leaving him alone, but I can't help but notice he's called a crusade to Jerusalem. There are no other Christians left, it's just you. You need to go by yourself, sir. Now, I guess he could hire up some mercenaries, but yes, we might just have to go and deal with him in a minute. So I gather these lads who are still hanging around, and yeah, they can go and knock him out. And that means that they'll be gone forever, and we can now start, yes, getting rid of the units who've just had to hang around here, just in case the Pope causes any problems. But elsewhere, yes, things are starting to come together. What I've been doing is gradually spending my money. So basically every single city now just has things lined up, because I'm making money, but I'm just spending it every turn, hence we're on 29 right now. But basically things have things lined up, apart from here, where apparently I don't give a damn. So yes, apparently I did miss one, but there's not a lot to do here other than a little bit of, like, you know, grain exchange. What's important is our good old castles, because we need a good army to go and deal with the Mongols, and by army I mean many. So we need to find our elite troops. This is only just converted over to English. It was French or Milanese before. But anyway, the cultures do shift sometimes. Do need to be careful about that. But Abdulhamid over here is my Holy Roman Empire castle. I'm not sure if that's a good faction for it, but we'll find out. Over here, Stalfin, Longbowmen. Excellent. Over in Malcolm, we have Longbowmen. So these two are just pumping out longbows. They are heading down south. They'll probably make it by the time the Mongols actually turn up properly. So that could be very interesting indeed. And across the map in general, I've done a fair bit of converting. I've left the occasional castle here or there because this is a Norse castle. And I don't remember the Scots ever do anything useful, but I thought I'd just keep Inverness in case. Because, yes, I want some options in that regard. We do have a goose over here, which is looking like Papal States. And I'm intrigued about that because Papal States have some very good units. So I might convert the fortress back over to a town in a minute. And that will give us potentially some fun Papal units. I'm not sure. We will see. Over in Bran, we have ourselves some, yes, Hungarians. So, okay, Axemen, probably not the best against Mongols and Timurids, but could be fun against Aztecs. That could be true. Suffragist City gets us Lithuanians, of course. Esau looking after that these days. Lublin, that gives us some Russian units, some nice cav. That'll be useful against the Mongols. And indeed, more over here in Vladislaw, where currently we do need to build the archery, don't we? Because I can't ever notice we can't currently get any of those missiles. That's interesting. So yes, we do have some buildings here, but not necessarily all of them. Bow, that's what we need. Yeah, move that to the front. We want to get more of those units. They're the key ones. So yeah, around the map there are just the odd settlements that are still castles, just because, well, this one might just stay as a castle simply because it's maybe better to keep it that way, seeing as we don't know where the Mongols will turn up. And on that note, what we're currently doing is largely just making sure we've got a watch in as many places as possible. They've just run out of money, so that's a problem. Had a bit more last turn. Maybe the new buildings this turn were just a little bit more expensive. I don't know. Either way, we are covering all our bases. We've got most of this border now thoroughly covered in watchtowers, which means we'll know where they are for all of their bumbling. So that is absolutely grand. And over in this part of the world, yeah, Saracen militia, that's pretty nice. This is where we do need to make sure our infrastructure is really ready for it. So yeah, basically I want these towns to be as ready as possible. Levitaners, get them done, just little bonuses here and there, very much welcome. And of course, yes, many armies are gathering forward. Desert archers, they're pretty good. We know the Mamluk archers will be helpful. And we're just sending the units we have over here. Most parts of the map I've kind of just disbanded, to be honest. I don't need most of the units. We do have a load of boats just bringing the armies over from Iberia, including this fleet with 9 men, but with all of the generals. That's excellent. Hopefully a storm doesn't kill them. If it does, it'll be funny. So we'll just have to take that scenario if it indeed happens. So yes, just gathering there in Sicily, and then I'll send them on their next way. But basically, people just gathering at this point, trying to make it the more useful troops. Yeah, we have ourselves Spanish Hinade over here, which is great. Quite pleased about that one. Yeah, more of Genitate over here, so I will say let's start hiring them up as well. But I do need to be careful about hiring units. I'm not doing too much of it because I'm trying to actually get rid of them in general rather than anything else. So yeah, mostly we're just kind of sending what's pretty solid and useful to me over in that part of the world. For example, Town Militia, you shouldn't be here, but you've managed to get on the boat. So okay, fine, you get to live for now, damn it. So yes, as for the Pope then, we should go and clear him off. So, Mr. Pope, Arigos, you are the final Pope, strong faith, warlike Pope. Indeed, you have called a crusade. I'm not sure the crusade in Jerusalem's going to go very well. Before we head in, I'm just going to make sure that this heretic joins us actually. So yes, good old Sinbad, or Simbaldo, you can head on in and join us as we take down the last Pope. It's a simple enough plan. We're going to slowly walk towards the enemy and finish him off. So, Flemish pikemen. Basically, they're being told to walk into position on top of this guy. Apparently it didn't work because these guys arrived too early. But actually, it looks like the pikes are still going to do the right thing. Well done, Mr. Pikes. Maybe you should stop at this point. There we go. Right, can you pike him? Anyone want to do some good piking? We don't have the pike fix here, as you might notice currently. We're not really in position either, so they're not managing it very well. There we go. They're reorganising now. They're just pushing him. Do some poking. There we go. There's some poking. So I think we'll be absolutely fine. This guy is going to be in trouble. We'll just make sure we get general around the back. Actually, these are some decent generals who've done some good work. Dentipes, Oxinta. I can't think who the third one is here. But we'll just make sure that we don't let them escape. That's basically what this is about. Looks like these guys have done the classic, really, on this game, which is, yeah, wander too far around the side of a unit, and thus, in the end, ignore the general that you're trying to kill. But we're now just using swords, which look good. You'd think they'd actually be quite good with the swords, but the Finnish pikemen aren't doing an awful lot, are they? Okay. Well, we'll just speed this up slightly. Mr. Pope is being taken on by our cav now, and it might just be down to the general, because the Flemish pikemen aren't dying, but the Pope is. So there we go. They won't do a very good job of killing him, but they were standing still. Right, well, praise the Almighty, the Pope is dead. Okay, excellent stuff. So with that then, that should be the Papal States wiped out altogether. Down he goes into the beach, I guess, near enough. And with that, we should see that's the end of them because, yeah, they won't have anyone left. There is a diplomat over here. I don't know if that will magically save them. Can't really do much about him, can I? If I had an army over here, I could actually, like, use that. So if we need to do that to kill them, we might do that. And I join you on the very next turn because Adil has passed away. He carried the Shard of the True Cross and he buried it in many a heart. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And can I just say, whilst Ziggy maybe had the more difficult battles along the way, he did a lot, man. He did an absolute huge amount, starting over here, yeah, dealing with Adil across to cross, organising the attack on Calgary, even if it wasn't him himself, Shard, Deo, Bologna, and all the way across to finish off the last of the factions over here. Magnificent work. The heretic can now run the city instead. That's fine. They're going to start getting annoying, by the way. Heretics do just wander around forever. I'm going to have to get them all on the boats because if they have any spare movement points, they just wander around and do whatever they like, which can be very, very annoying indeed. So yes, get on the boats, lads. Get on the boats. We might drown you. We might not. We will see about that. But yes, what a great, great general he has been. A little bit too old, like Ziggy, to carry on and push on and make him quite as big a hero as perhaps we've seen in the Rome campaign. But you know what? These two have been absolutely magnificent. So a noble life indeed ends. And by the way, the Papal States, yeah, so this guy's kind of kept them alive. Does that mean they've got a new pope? They shouldn't. I don't see a new pope. But yeah, because there won't be any actual like priests to activate to kind of have a cardinal, I guess. So if there's no cardinal good enough, then they can't have a new pope. But this guy's still alive, so yeah, I think we might have to activate said plan. So maybe the army over here has to come round and get this guy, yeah, surrounded. and thus murdered. But there we go. Okay, well, with a deal passed away, we'll probably be ticking through more of the turns quite quietly here until the Mongols arrive, because yeah, there's not much point of me just telling you every last watchtower I put down. We might as well get to the action. But I did want to make sure we covered a deal. I knew he would be passing pretty soon, and indeed he has. But with his passing lies a new age. There are new men who potentially might be the heroes of this here campaign instead. And of course there are still plenty of others. Rescatemi the Mean, he's still young enough to do this. Abdemiki the Wrathful, 44. Yeah, these guys could still be heroes in this campaign. There are some other lads, potentially younger ones, who I don't know if anyone can make it to the Mongols. We will see about that. But anyway, we'll flip forward through the turns and we'll see if, yes, any of these others like the People's City over here could be interesting and useful. Oh, and before we get there, in case you are wondering how the construction report is going, yes, it is farms, farms, farms. Growth, please. Grow some more. Give me the money, baby. I'm actually building the odd temple just in this kind of area because a little bit of extra growth actually is quite welcome. So a fair point in the comments regarding that. I mean, it made sense earlier on to be destroying them, but at this point, yeah, let's get whatever growth we can. Let's get these castles bigger and bigger. Let's get the money rolling in, baby. That is magnificent. But yeah, we're going to be looking much better in terms of economy very soon because we now actually have the money to get all these buildings in place, which means we basically have whatever we want in terms of going forward and actually having all the armies we want. I'm going to be careful for the next few turns, but anyway, unless the Pope reappears, I will see you when the Mongols arrive. And so the Mongols have arrived at last, indeed, arrived at Osman over here in the Caucasus Mountains. So at the moment it's just the little scout force that starts off, but this could go much more dramatic very quickly. Okay, so this is an interesting one because, yeah, I think they get very stuck when they come into this part of the map. There's a lot of little passageways here, and I think what happens is new armies arrive and then they go back to join them. You block the pass and they try and reroute around, and I kind of want to avoid doing too much of that. I actually kind of want to make these kind of tasty offerings. You can see they're not very well defended right now. It's not really purposely done right at this stage. It's more that the armies haven't fully arrived and been organised. They're mostly organised, but at least now I know where we're sending everyone. We can kind of get them moving. But what I don't want to do is block them entirely. Presumably here they'll be going for Constantinople. In the north, normally it'll be, yes, Kiev or Yusuf here. And indeed, it's normally Antioch or Zub if they come in the south area. So I'm guessing it's Constantinople, but that's probably like the most awkward one for them to get to. So what I want to do is make sure we've got, we've got some chivalrous guys in the castles to try and help. So we'll be getting some Trebizond archers, but I don't want to make them full stacks because they'll never attack if that's the case. So what I want to do, is bring some of my armies around you, sir. Yes, this army is going to come over here. It's going to meet up with Commandus the Wrathful, probably our most significant of our triumvirate, in the sense that he's the one who's still alive. So Commandus did quite a lot of good on the original campaign. Behind Ziggy and good old Chadili, yes, I think he's probably third in line to the demonstrative throne. So he's going to head forth, and hopefully we're to clear out the Mongols. We'll see how he gets on with all of that. So he's going to meet up with those forces, a nice boat full of, some chunky infantry, some longbows. We'll have to sort out some other cav for him as well. So now we know where they're coming from, we can get organised. I have a lot of men around here, so it's not... it's not like we're not ready for them, but we do need to sort of reorganise our troops now. We know exactly where they are. So for now, Yalbay, you might get your wish to keep this thing safe. Well, a number of turns later, and as is predictable with the Mongols, they don't really want to take on the rebels. They probably just want to get to Constantinople, which, has a few units in it. Oh no, it has plenty more now. Lovely. Okay, yes, we have plenty of units over there, but I think what we're going to do, we're going to smash up the armies that are already here. I think it's, I don't know how long until the other forces come, but there's no point of trying to let them walk all the way over here when they've got more reinforcements. So we're going to start smashing. I've got them fairly bottled up. They've never even attacked any of these, but we do have various forts around. We do have, a general army standing behind Reginald, good old Reg. But no, we're going to start off with some proper veterans. Rescatemi the Wrathful, Abdemiki the Wrathful, and Coldbean the mean, who's not so raffle, but he is still a bit of an arse. So, absolutely magnificent. These guys are going to get on into battle. Apparently he's a bastion of chivalry. Very nice. He might be wrathful, but yes, he's good for population growth. So I think he was down in Zub for a while. But he is over here now. Going to take on the Khan. Now, the Khan is not the good armies, just to remind you. The Khan is not the dreadful army. He's got the ornamental armour. Quite easy to kill, and these guys don't have any of the doom chevrons on them. So this is the simpler army. So we should be fine for this one, but it gives us a little bit of a taste for the Mongol menace. These guys are much, much more painful, and maybe after an attack, yeah, maybe this will wake them up. Let's have a night battle. Let's take them down. Well, you might have seen we're on the edge of a mountain there, and we are indeed in a decent little position on one flank. So we're going to get straight on into the horse archer nonsense here. And I'm going to say maybe you three go for these guys and get the Turkomans down onto this one. We just kind of want to get on top of them nice and early just to give us room to manoeuvre on the hill. I'm not running, but we might need to run after a little while. So, yeah, looks like we're going to have a decent little skirmish here. I'm hoping numbers does the job. These are my Mamluk archers. 3 experience and a couple of them should be absolutely fine for tearing through these guys. These guys not quite so much, but we'll see about that. So with them, just about broken. Yeah, there we are. So they're broken straight away. That's a good start. And if we can do more of the same over here, we're very, very happy about all of this. And even if we don't, to be honest, a bit of skirmishing works for me. We are finally in range with our actual archers, damn it, and I'm quite happy about this front line. They're not experienced, they haven't got the weapons and armour. The Saracen militia, pretty darn nice. They're, I think, underrated units perhaps. I think just not many people play as the Eastern factions or as the Muslim factions, but I'm quite happy with these guys. They're pretty darn good. I'm going to try swinging around a little bit here, and these guys just going to sort of circle round as well. Might not be a terrible plan as we start to, yeah, really push at them now. I quite like to, yeah, pull them into an actual fight here, but they're not quite getting teased here. Might just have to keep on closing them down. And let's just really run forward now, guys. Let's really press into these Mongol invaders. Need to deal with them. Now, the general is being shot in the rear at this stage. I'm going to say, actually, Mr. Infantry, probably good just to get involved, actually. Let's just charge on in. They are really repositioning, aren't they? I think this is an interesting one. For archers over there. They try to run away. This is weird. Anyway, send the general over there. And you know what? I'm going to send the generals into them as well. It looks like they might just be retreating. Not really sure what they're doing. Might be a feigned retreat, but if nothing else, yeah, I'm feeling quite good about this here position. So I've just ordered my cavalry to undo their very, very useful bit of charge there. So I'm going to tell the rest of these guys to get involved as well. So that's okay. Over on this flank, yeah, we've got them under control. Get one of them just to chase them down, and the other two can come join us over here because, yeah, it looks like they've scattered those Turkomans. That's fine. That's a weak flank. That was just there to hopefully pull them into some kind of a battle. You guys go on to guard mode. And to be honest, let's just get the infantry in here. There's no need to even stand around at this point, lads. Get yourselves running into place. And yeah, they are at this point just running away. Let's go on top of these archers as well. General around the rear. And where are you, sir? Get yourself into battle, lad. I think I must have misclicked you at some stage. Yeah, you into this position as well. Get on top of their general. And we can get the militia into him as well. That'll be absolutely perfect. I think we've got them now. He is indeed running away at the sight of our men. So there we go. Down he goes. And a decent opening engagement there. I mean, as ever with these, you are going to take some... There we go. There, we're going to take some damage that can be a little bit annoying to mop up over time. But we need people to be, yeah, mopping them up as much as we can. But we are looking, yeah, 90% already. I think we'll be absolutely okay here. But we'll make sure we get every last one that we can. 21% lost to 91% of theirs. Risk a terme as ever. These lads, they get the job done. Down he falls, and with that, yes, that is the end of his movement point, and a decent amount of damage to the cav. But to be honest, in this part of the world, we can just go retrain 3 cav. Although it just about used my money here, that's interesting. I have been gathering all my forces together, so he no longer feels unappreciated. Sir, you are the most appreciated of all who are still alive. Okay, apart from, well, no, I'll be honest, I appreciate Commander slightly less. Because I think he had a slightly easier run of his battles. Nonetheless, I would like him to get involved soon enough. So I'm going to say, get yourself into position right there and see what happens to you. Now, Dentape's army behind him is pretty darn nice as well. They've got themselves some Norman Knights. Now, these are among the best things that we can get. We've thrown in a few like Hinate, Grenadine, Ginate, Boyar Sons, very nice. And obviously a big pile of longbowmen. Depends how aggressive they want to be, but there's plenty of good stuff over here, and indeed more. With Yosef over there, over in the mountain range, so I think we're looking pretty solid. More and more units arriving by the minute. Some of our Italians. Oh yes, North Swordsmen from England. Some Huskarls from Wales. Excellent. Welsh Huskarls. Very good indeed. We do seem to have the Mongols surrounded at this point between the mountain range, the river, and us. They're not going anywhere. So here's the plan. We're fed up of them not bothering to besiege anything. I even had fairly juicy targets for a decent amount of the time here, but they just haven't besieged them. They've got as far as about here, didn't go any further. No. So yes, obviously with all their routes blocked off, they've ended up in this position. Not sure how or why, but it means that we can now start to take them down. Now when we're taking on these guys with the 6 experience and the massive dread, we need a certain type of general or a certain type of army. Well, okay. The main thing, I think, really, is that we need someone who is going to be able to do the work. Now, unfortunately, Drillmaster isn't great for you, so actually, Commandos. But, yes, he's got fine armour, because we do have a few armourers around these days. I'm hoping there's something else for... Oh, -2 for morale. Commandos, I'm a bit concerned about this, actually, now I mentioned it. Dauntless, okay, fine. It's not as bad as I thought. Because, yeah, he's done plenty of good winning, but actually, surprisingly, his morale isn't that high. I guess what he does is he crushes the enemy morale quickly. So we'll see if he can pull that one off. Now, the key way of taking on Mongols or Timurids is trying to isolate an army and have a backup army. And AI backup armies need to just be cavalry, just to cause issues, just to get into the battle. I do have a third army here just to actually... just to pin him in, to be honest with you. He's going to get involved in the battle. It's actually Yosef and Stefan, who you might remember from invasions such as, yes, this part of the world. So yes, there is Yosef and Manomach, which is that lad there. Did we give Stefan something in the end? We might have, but I don't think I actually named enough of those late conquests, so he doesn't actually have anything. So sadly, he won't get anything unless the Mongols take it. So he's not going to be getting any names, but Bayan the Raffle is in trouble. Now, I'm expecting some heavy damage, pretty one-to-one damage at the very least here. They have 6 experience. We do not have any experience here. We have a little bit of armour on some of them, not all. Norman Knights, very nice indeed. Looking forward to them. Some Hinate Boyasons. Actually don't have any horse archers in this army. This is very much a sit and guard our territory while these guys come in and do some work. This is quite a lot of horse archers in the cavalry army. Reinforcement armies are cavalry armies, and we'll see how they do. But I do have reinforcements. We have Reginald d'Orion with what's not the greatest army in the world, but it's a decent little spread. We are pre-gunpowder at this point, so no more in that regard. We have more generals coming to replace the generals when they die. We have Rescaterme and his forces slightly refreshed. They're heading up north now. We also have Farage, who obviously, judging by his name, wants to go and deal with foreigners. So we're going to send him up to get involved too. And who else is getting involved? There's a couple other guys still potentially just moving this direction. We have them pinned. I'm not really too concerned about winning the war here, but it's a case of how much damage. Now, obviously, there are more forces coming. This isn't it. So we're going to take care of this lot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear myself out of the way. And I kind of want to just invite them to just go for their target. I want a siege battle, damn it. And that's only really going to happen, I think, with the rebels if and when they reach, say, Antioch, Jerusalem, Constantinople or Yusuf. So they're really the 4 that they aim for. So we've got to, give them those sort of targets open. So we'll take up these guys and we'll let the next wave deal with that. The only other thing is we have this lad over here. Yes, Kutus the Mean, who has his fine armour, which is great because Adana does of itself the armourer these days, getting things built up. But he's got himself 5 chivalry. We're going to take care of Dread. Good chivalry is better than good Dread, I would say, actually. We kind of want the main army to hold as much as possible, and we might manage to break them with 6 experience. You're going to need chivalry. So this guy might be quite important. He's 47. He looks pretty good, actually. Everyone's friend. He's healthy, understands logistics. Oh, yeah. With all the loyalty to the rebel cause in the world, I reckon we can make a good general out of you in the later stages of your life. 47, he won't see the Timurids, but it's time to stop waffling and start dealing with Bayan the Raffle. And we do bring in Aladai the Raffle here as well, which is probably just as well we have the 3rd army involved. I think we'll be absolutely A-okay with this. So, yes, Aladai. These are the I don't think we've got any of the gunpowder stuff, the trebuchets either. So we've just got the kind of pure armies right now. This could be very interesting indeed. If we did night battle, that indeed just keeps our own lads out because they're clever enough to give in all these guys night battle, which makes it a little bit annoying. They learnt from Barbarian Invasion. Right, let's head on in. Let's take them down. As this begins then, we have a humongous battlefield. I just realised that I'm inviting them to appear behind me. Well done, Thomas. You're an absolute numpty. Okay, fine. So, we do, of course, have ourselves longbowmen here. So we have stakes. Ahoy! And it looks like a spearman actually hiding behind the stakes, which is quite funny. They've been a lot more aggressive this time, which is of interest for me. So, Norman Knights. I don't think you're going to be able to do very much, to be honest, against those guys. I'm just going to tell them to run forward and smash the foot archers, because they might as well. We have ourselves the Russian division on this flank. So get yourself off skirmish, not onto guard. You're going to be aggressive, actually, lads. And over on this side, we have our Spanish division, the Jinete. Well, we'll say Spanish and Portuguese division for these 2 lads. That'll be absolutely fine, but we do need you to help us out. Let's make sure we're on, the right speed here. Mongol infantry. Let's just go and demolish them with our lovely, lovely friends over here. So let's follow in the Norman Knights with the chunkiest horses they've ever horsed, it should be said. And how is the charge going to go? A bit of a miss, because we're actually aiming for this unit, Thomas. Okay, fine. So probably a decent little poke at the start there. Looks like we might have actually caught these guys a little bit with our cav. Come on, boyars. Very nice. Quite like you to get yourselves in there. Archers should be doing some excellent work. Quite happy for them to charge us at the front, obviously. Works for me. So, I think we'll just quite happily pull him out of there. Thank you very much, knights. Done your job. You are still coming to help these guys. Hit those Mongol infantry instead. That'll be absolutely grand. These guys are over here with the Russian division. Fine. I would say close in on these guys. Just pin them. They are in trouble, I think, with those rocks. Yeah, indeed. They're going to get themselves caught. So you get yourselves over there. But your sons, very nice units. Something you get such better units on Medieval 2 than you do on Rome as the rebels. Some good early game units as Rome, but my days, things like Norman Knights, these are chunky bastards, damn it. Okay, over on this flank, the Jinete are not doing very much, but they can get on top of that bodyguard, which would be absolutely marvellous. Please go and do that. You see that? They're just getting their units all around. This is what our cavalry's for, damn it. They're here to protect us. But if they want to come in, I mean, we're all spearmen as well, so I should say we are kind of fine. We just about let these guys just get clipped here. So I'm just going to tell these guys just to move up a little bit closer. On this side, you can see a few horses have just caught themselves on the spikes. That is perfect. And the longbows are probably doing excellent work, I would like to imagine. Okay, Mongol infantry. There's some reinforcements. That's the general just flying forward. So he's probably going to be dead at the end of this. Right, these guys are literally just holding off this entire army by themselves. I'm going to say, lads, that's what reinforcements are for. Get yourselves back into this and let's get involved. Horse archers. Yeah, just get they're just running straight on in. Okay, ballsy of you, but Mr. General will take you down. This guy is an absolute beast. I'm sure he can deal with you. Right, At least historically he is anyway. So the cavalry are coming in to just cover our asses over here. That is fine. And yeah, let's just make sure we've got all of our cavalry where we want them, which is basically involved. You get on top of those heavy lancers. Just because you're right there, you might as well do so. And we'll just tell these two guys just to spread a little bit more thinly. There's a slight jumpiness in the camera. I am noticing that. But there are a lot of units on the field and a lot of arrows. So, yeah, very nice. Yes, when they talk about the new Medieval 3 and the new engine, hopefully be able to deal with more and more things on the battlefield. Yeah, the amount of arrows. They just said the arrows will be improved. I hope it goes back to old style arrows. Remember, all arrows were very good. These ones are still okay. Don't really know what's happening at this point. The main thing with the reinforcement armies is that we hold our ground. Okay, he's gone. One of them is gone. That is buying the raffle, is it? Buying the raffle is gone. Very nice indeed. Right. I think over here, we need to just get you a little bit wider. That'll be good. Now, the general is unfortunately a little bit too much involved over here in terms of holding this line. I don't like that. General, get yourself, commandos, get yourself back a little bit. You can assist your lads, but don't get into that battle yet. We need you to hold back. I'm going to say these archers need to be sending missiles in here, damn it. We need some fire. Yeah, likewise. They are coming for us, and the reinforcements need to try and help hold this. I'm going to say, ooh, what do I want to do in terms of my cav? I'm going to get these two Hinate over here as a guard, actually. I think our cavalry's largely dead. These guys have won their little skirmish out there. So I'm going to say, yeah, you guys come and block this side of my battlefield. I think we're mostly safe on this flank. Our allies have dealt with that. Yeah, smash into that general. Just get yourselves over there. We're just going to hold this flank now, which is basically a case of general not getting pulled in too much. Their general is... yeah, that's our general, that's fine. Yes, he's just behind the spear line, which is absolutely fine. We're going to send him tons of missiles. We do have more spears slightly ahead because these guys have switched flanks. We're just going to hold firm for the time being because we're largely out of cavalry. We need to use as to buy ourselves time at the start. But actually, you know what? With that flank secure, I'm going to say, Hinate, get around. Ah! One of our generals is dead. I'm not sure who that is. Who's died? It won't tell us. Okay, fine. One of our generals has been killed. I expect that much. There's an awful lot of generals on this battlefield, by the way, so there could be a lot of dead family members, whoever the hell they are. I don't know. But yeah, I think we should. I'm just going to say, tell some of our missiles to aim over into here. I think they already are, but it's probably just a good idea to get as many missiles in that direction as possible. I think we are largely facing over here now. So I'm going to say, grab my infantry, who are not currently involved, and just get them moving forward. Because I think at this stage, we can probably just have one here just covering these archers. But I think that flank is largely covered. I think they're basically all over here now. So let's just move our infantry line over. In fact, yeah, you guys just bring yourself into this position. Archers, you into this position. And I think that's going to be much better for us. Right, Commandos, I think you can start charging, pushing through these lines now. Get these lads moving down the hill. Infantry. Infantry! No, actually, you guys stay here. You are there just to guard our archers. So yeah, we can have two of them as an archer defense, just in case anything goes stupidly wrong. But other than that, I think it'll be absolutely a-okay. Archers, get yourself moving forward. Infantry, yeah, you should be ploughing down this hill. God knows what's happening, but I think we're doing the job. Oh dear, they are... between it, this army's worked. How's the damage, by the way? 36 to 78. That's pretty good. I mean, I suppose we have got three armies there too. We have a bit more cavalry because we have two cavalry backup armies. But that is just what I found is the best way against the Mongols. You need more than one army. You need to sit there with a good defensive one. Solid line, good archers, and some skirmish cav just to kind of, well, they're going to die, but they're going to hold off flanks and things. So, yeah, you just need to hold steady and let the reinforcements do a bit more aggressive mental death row stuff. So there's some more horse archers over there, but I think... oh, yes, here we go. Down we go! Oh, lovely. It's funny how gruesome and demonic and evil. The Mongols are on this, and any Mongolians ever met in real life are just the nicest, sweetest people. It's hilarious. It's like they've had their time in history, and now they're just lovely. So Aradai the Wrathful has also fallen. That's good that he's been defeated in this, actually. I wasn't even thinking about wiping out all the generals, but of course that will help. Even if we kill all the generals, by the way, in this wave, it doesn't stop the next wave from happening. It makes no difference. So I think at this point we have just one. I think there's just something that's not officially running. I'm not sure what that even is, but we have one at this point. Most of the longbows are okay. We've kind of got a couple being shot down by the missiles, the ones at the front. Oh yeah, some lovely, lovely longbows doing excellent work. We don't seem to pick up experience because, yes, the human player never does. But ultimately, yeah, we should finish them off here. Good work, Commandos. I'm impressed. Oh, you can see that this is the last unit because all of these reinforcements are flying in that direction. There's maybe one more over there, fine. But yeah, they're gone, and it's a clear victory. 32% in the end, 92 of theirs. They've got nowhere to run, so they should just be dead, I would imagine. And okay, pretty darn good work. They lost, the general army lost half its men, so I'm expecting a quarter are probably dead. We will see about that, but they did kill a lot. Very nice. And Yusuf, I'm not sure if his was the slightly more out the way reinforcements, but either way, they did some good work there. As for our men, longbows with few sustained but plenty inflicted, pretty darn solid, all things considered. Everyone did something, so well done. Even these armoured sergeants managed to inflict 4 and heal 4, so fair enough. With that, they fall to the ground. This guy falls to the ground, and there's a lot of deaths loading here. Oh dear. Oh dear, this is a painful one for us, but we have defeated some Mongols. So we lost Rezus, whoever he was, Skilas, I at least remember that name. Pontius. Pontius was actually, if it's the actual Pontius, there might actually be a city named after him. Well, I might be thinking of the Rome. Nope, that is Pontius over there. Okay, we lost Pontius. Abascantus. We lost Rashkapordish. These are all such classic names. Timberka of Kabul. Oh, no. Oh, the lad who joined us down here at the end. He's fallen too. And Primus. Okay, the first to fall. Also, Yosef. Oh, no. Yes, of course, we lost one of the actual generals there, but it was Yosef who fell. Well, Yosef, you do have one of their targets here named after you. 2 cities named after you, in fact, and he has fallen. Fair enough. Yosef has given his life to the cause. You've done good work for us before, sir. So, there we are. Yeah, Aaron, of course, is now the leader of that army. So, fine. We probably need to see what refreshing we can do with this army from this range. Yeah, I would say, actually, sir, you get yourself, Reggie, over onto that hill. And I'm going to say, Komanos, we just pull you back. Just enough to help us out. If they are going to attack us, we need to make sure we've got as much to help. Let's just make sure we do some merging here. Yeah, we just need to have some... Oh, they can't actually move. Well, that's a bit problematic. Can anyone make it to help out those cavalry? Not really. Okay, I'll tell you what, sir. You can give up what remains of your cav to help out the general army in case they attack Reginald here. Not a great army, but it'll have to do. Right, and commanders, in fact, to be honest, you can stand behind on that hill. You'll be pulled in if they want to attack. So, yeah, reinforcements are together. They haven't attacked me once, so I'm not expecting any aggression here. But if nothing else, I'll bring up... Actually, I do need to bring some reinforcements for... Yeah, for Komanos here. What do we need? The infantry's actually fairly well survived. We lost kind of 1 unit of archers. Bring a couple desert archers. They're quite good. And to be honest, we don't have great spears here. Just bring a spear militia. A couple of those guys. Just send what we can. But I think they've already been moving around this turn. So we'll end our turn and we'll see what they've got in store. The Lithuanians and the Strashish are here. That's good news. They've arrived right now. Okay. Okay. We will wipe out these guys right now. And then we need to maybe just pull back, actually, from the rest of this. I'm going to say General Army. You get yourself up here and join in. If you can make it, that would be lovely. Reg, get yourself... Oh, yeah, we've actually got 2 armies here, but one's very battered. Ooh, very small army with the Khan. Okay. Yeah, can these extra generals make it? Not all the way there. That's unfortunate. They can't actually quite make it to help. However, we don't need to send in these battered lads. They can have a rest. We'll send in some new ones. Armenian Cav and Alani Light Cav. They're just yeah, some random mercenary hires we have. So yeah, send in these guys here as reinforcements. But this is now a 2-on-2, which is a little bit more dangerous for Reginald. But I think Reginald has earned the right to do some good work here as well. And I'm going to say, sir, your job... Ooh, I need to start clearing a way for them, but I need to just make sure we don't do anything stupid here. So let's just get these guys blocking up for the moment. And if anyone needs to die, it can be good old Nigel there. So yeah, if this guy dies, that's fine, just to keep those guys distracted. But we do want to let them eventually wander off to the capital. So yeah, sadly we can't get them in. You, sir, just keep on shuffling along. But they might be better off actually starting to run off, because at this point, yeah, we want to open up a certain route. So what we want to do is open up a route basically to wherever they want to go, probably Constantinople. That could be fun to have a big old bout there. So yeah, you stand here. It's the Spartacus brothers here. Build us a... Oh, I don't have money for a fort. That's embarrassing. Okay, Spartacus brothers just hang out here. They were originally going to defend this. It would have been fun, but alas not. We also have the Rescaterm. No, that's Pontius and Deputies. There's tons and tons of the same name of people at this point. Let's just head on in, shall we? So I'm going to say... Do you want to leave... Do you want to attack this army and then be reinforcements? I think we want to attack the main force. Yeah, I think that's really the better angle of attack. So, Kanzada Hebi the Mauler, faction heir, and 10 dread. In fact, so much dread you can even see the next one appearing on the list. He's sanguinary though, so -1 morale for them. Doesn't really matter too much, I would suggest. Apparently it's proper morals, which includes mauling people, which is just marvellous. They also have Khan. The Khans are normally not so good. Ornamental Armour and Drill Master. So I'm not too concerned about them. They will emerge to our flank, though we need to be wary of that. We have Aaron for more and more generals to fall and die, which would be magnificent. But ultimately they're just there to die. Because ultimately they'll be dead before the Timurids turn up anyway, most of these generals. So they might as well prove their worth now. Let's hit it in. Well, immediately we've got these random reinforcements right behind us, which is not ideal, but it's just kind of where the hill was, so I had to just take that position. It means we're immediately getting our Mamluk archers and these Hinate into their Mongol horse archers, which works for me, to be honest. We're just going to reshuffle because the reinforcements are over there, so not so concerned about this flank at this point. So just going to, yeah, rejig my front line so we've got some more men over there. But we probably just need to rejig this entire section actually in a moment, because they're wandering over here as well. So we're just going to hold these guys into position. What I really need to do, actually, now I say it, is I really need to get this guy turned around, and realistically I need these missiles shooting actually. So let's just get these two guys into position ASAP, and we can just get these guys to, I would hope, hold some of this off. Let's go and get on top of the light lances, please. Hinate, you are the spare unit. We need you to go and do that right now. Cavalry as well. You can get involved and just hit those lances. The lances are a bit confused about charging into spearmen as they wander off, but it should actually work out okay. Because, yeah, ultimately, our cavalry are charging on in. And, yeah, their lances are already broken. That is goodly news. And hopefully our cavalry can deal with all of that. I'm going to say... Get your missiles into the bodyguard. If you're in range, get there. You might as well get yourselves over there so that you are in range. And that probably means that we want to just shuffle all these guys along just a little bit. That's absolutely okay. So these cav are doing great work. That's some reinforcements. And what that means is I really want you guys to emerge over here into their flanks. Now I've got... Yeah, you know what? Hinate. Get yourself over here, lads. And you over onto this side. Let's just get a proper charge lined up for these guys. You get yourselves over there. They're starting to pull back because I think our cavalry actually just about won this battle by themselves, which is quite impressive, actually. So well done, lads. Yeah, you. Into them. You just intercept those light lances. That's fine. That's kind of what we want. Because now, don't get in the way of our charge, you pilchards. Yeah, okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Now, as for the main force, let's just take this in, because our reinforcements are being a bit overly aggressive here, which means that whilst we're in a fairly safe position right now, yeah, they're going to get themselves killed quite badly, aren't they? So let's just make sure something's making this a bit wonky to line up. Just a little bit more there. Okay, that'll be good. You get yourselves over there. I think our cavalry are going to be able to deal with this, actually. Pretty pleased with this. So, looks like Hinate are going to be able to clear them out. They're not experienced, but they're good, damn it. Dealing with their, light lancers, who are, light lancery, I suppose. Not the world's greatest thing. General, decent unit. Can't argue with that. What else do they have here? Not a lot left, actually. I think we mostly cleared them out. That is impressive, lads. Okay, rest of you. Get yourselves around this flank. You, mailed knights, just charge them down because you're in position to go and do that already. In fact, no, you're in position to go deal with these guys, so you go deal with them. You go deal with them. I think you're not going to get there in time. Elsewhere, yeah, just get on top of that general. I think we're going to have him pinned and defeated. On which note, I think our infantry is just going to have to... I think we're going to have to run forward because our AI friends are going to get every single general in the world murdered right now, which is not going to end well, no. Sadly, I think it was on the expansion, the DLC, where they added in the little tell your reinforcements what to do, how aggressive to be, etc. So I'm just going to tell them to run, which is not ideal, but Reggie is much more sensible than the rest of them. So yes, unfortunately for these guys, they decided to regroup, which wasn't the best plan, really. You're much better off running away. You could have just ran off into the countryside, and I would never know where you went. So the general is largely just about battering away our units, as you'd expect him to do. I'm just going to send Reg to go and finish him off, actually, just to make sure. Think we'd probably have him with this guy as well, but it's best to be careful with it. And we do have one of our AI generals arriving on the scene. That's good, but yeah, they're all just going to get themselves murdered, aren't they? Those are like the 7 experienced lads, and they're just piling in. Oh dear, it's going to be a bloodbath, but it's fine. That's kind of their point. They're just kind of nobodies. Nobody's part of the rebel, who are part of the rebel cause. So we'll let Reggie get involved here. We'll get the rest of our cav into them, and you guys can charge into the foot archers like I've told you to do about 7 times already. Yeah, and if you want to get on top of him properly and kill him, that'd be really, really good. Down he goes. Great work. Oh, yes. Now, so Reg has charged on into battle and cleared them off. Now you need to come in and actually go in and help your forces, sir. So, enemy general? Good riddance to that desert dog. Yes, indeed. So we can finally get ourselves in position to come and help. And by in position, what I mean is, guys, I think we should actually just be running forward, actually. Like, really, really, really getting in there. Because I think we just need to do anything we can to just save some of these guys. And I think all of our missiles in behind can pretty much just stand in about this position. That will be a-okay. As for all of my cav, get them over here right now into these guys, and we'll see how it goes. The damage is going to be bad this time in terms of generals' deaths. Really, really brutal. There are some like other units like Alani Cavalry. Here's Aaron himself then, who is, as far as I'm aware, still alive. I don't think it's told us that Ally General is dead. So we'll just see how all of this goes. So we're just going to, just get people in, really, at this point. You into them, that is a-okay. Yeah, we just don't have a lot in terms of these cav left, but we'll see what we can do with them. So yeah, you get yourselves over there, and I would just say, I don't even care if some of these missiles are just doing random things. It's fine. Just go and run and shoot at some people. That's kind of your job. It's kind of what I want you to do. So, looks like we'll win, but at what cost? We don't know. Worth noting that Reggie is a chivalric knight and not a general unit per se, so he doesn't have the extra hit points. So his bravery is extra appreciated down the years, it should be said. So you get yourselves forward, you get yourselves forward, and keep on pushing. I was going to say, yeah, they were kind of glitchy and Silver Surfery there, but no, it's loaded up their skins, that's fine. Mr. General, if you'd like to not get shot, that would be very, very sensible indeed. And I think we are arriving. That's some of our allies Another general turn up to go and poke them. Very good. I think Reggie had to work his way through some of them first. Looks like they're largely in retreat. I'm not sure it's an official full retreat just yet, but we should be mopping these guys up at this stage. We kind of got men everywhere causing them random issues. So I think we'll be fine. Go and deal with those foot archers, Reggie. We can follow you round as you do some good old murder. I would like some search and destroy button on this game. I've said this many times, but it really should exist. Anything that's on Age of Empires 2 should be in Rome Total War, and thus should be in Medieval 2 Total War. Although having said that, a lot of features have disappeared from Total War over the years. Very much hoping that they return in Medieval 3, because if you're going to call it Medieval 3, then you kind of need to work with not from your last game, but from the last in that series to some extent. So we will see how all of that goes. Good work, Reg. Looks like we've got the job done here. I don't think it matters if we kill them all. I think they're trapped anyway. We're on 91%. So victory and glory is ours. I think it's just a foot archer or two who actually just need to go down. I'm going to say all missiles. Get over and deal with him, because I think it's just a couple of these guys who are actually causing the problems. I'll get the general to charge in as well. And at some point, yeah, he'll be gone as well. I'm not sure who's still fighting, but the job looks like it's done. Reginald de Odeon once again proving his worth. Whoever this Aaron is, I think he's alive, so well done for that. Once again, enemies killed. Yeah, they did a lot this time because they just charged in like maniacs. But they lost over half of their men when they're all well, not all bodyguards to be fair, but a good amount of them. They could be in trouble, I would imagine. How are they looking? Casualties sustained. I mean, 27 sustained on your bodyguard. He's probably dead. 25, probably dead. Probably dead. We'll find out soon enough. Down he goes, and down he goes. So that is the big chunky force of those guys gone. 1 dead. 2 dead. Any more dead? 3. Oh dear, there's quite a few. No, that's fine. Just 3. Not as bad as last time. So who died? We lost Sautes, whoever he was. We lost Satries, whoever he was. And we lost Posthumus. Okay, don't really know who any of them are. It's fine. None of them are still here. How have you guys not got any... Oh no, you're the guys who didn't fight. These guys, how much experience do they have? In here, by the way, we have Antonio Salvo. Lovely. Good to see him here. Yeah, former successor. Good racer. Nice. He's picked up some culture over in the east. That's good to see. Scalaris the raffle. Okay, what we need to do now then is, I would say, get out of here to some extent. Basically, that's what we need to do, because at the moment we're currently kind of trapped this side of things, and we want to make sure that we can kind of get past. And I don't know if they're going to bother attacking us, but we do need to kind of do our best to not be trapped in this corner. So, I'm going to say that is not the worst plan, but yeah, you block here, Frosh down there, but they've still got a gap of sorts, so we'll see how that goes. It is a deeply, deeply sad day for Reshkatemi. The Raffle has had his final day, his last battle with the great foes of the anarchy. Abdelmiki and Kolbane will have to continue on without him. Yes, indeed. It's a bit sad, really, that he's had a few fights, but maybe not quite enough to finish off the Mongols. He was a magnificent man. Was he at 7-8 experience in the end? Oh, these guys are being driven into many, many rage-filled battles. Some crazy affairs over in the likes of, yes, Staufen. Their defence of Staufen was fun. They obviously worked their way down Abdelmiki. Kolbane, named after them, of course. Malcolm in the end would take of that. But yes, they were involved in a lot of this campaign. Very good work between them. Often just like an extra army. Never really with a proper force until their recent battle. So yeah, very nicely done, lads. You've always impressed me. But for the time being, you can keep on moving on. We're just trying to, yes, clear the way for the Mongols right now. Just to make sure that they've got, yeah, this kind of route through the central passages. Get yourselves out of these little lanes. Thank you very much. There's some Crusader Knights, by the way. But yes, just trying to make sure that they get the idea of coming through Turkey, eventually over towards their destination. So we've just about cleared out the way. We're just leaving the castles now with, yeah, Spear Militia a few archers, a couple longbows just to kind of make the gateway funny. So yeah, Pontius, by the way, Pontius is still alive. Obviously, yes, the random armies are just kind of extra lads who have been pulled out of the arse of the game. But yes, brave marks of war, very loyal, noble in battle. Yes, Pontius the Mean, who is almost certainly, yes, this Pontius. He's over here with his friends Dentipes and Oxinta the Mean. I think Oxinta also might have a town, or might be mixing up with Rome again. Not really sure. Either way, yes, we could get some more Turkish archers here, which are very useful. But again, I'm trying to almost like tease them in by not quite having a proper force here. So we'll see about that. Can I just point out, by the way, how much I love Egypt when it comes to playing as the rebels? Because, yeah, you get yourselves the Sultan's racing track. And it means that even in the cities, we're getting Mamluks and Mamluk archers as well as Saracen militia. It's just mental. I mean, yeah, you're not even really getting all that much out of the actual castles. Desert archers, very nice. Do we really gain much? Not sure we do, really. The Nubian archers as well as the desert archers for a very vague difference. But yeah, the cities for the Egyptians, very powerful for me as the rebels. I like that a lot. But yeah, as for the rest of it, we're just going to see if they want to attack Katawun. This is their last set of armies. These ones should have, yeah, the trebuchets. And there might be even some Doom catapulty things, some rocket launchers. I can't see all their stuff because I don't have any. I don't have any damn, what you call it, spies. That's the word I want. But yeah. Anyway, shifting ourselves out of the way. We also lost Stefan, by the way. He's been involved in a fair few battles. So goodbye, Stefan. You never did get that city named after you, but you fought well for the anarchy. I will remember you in Gonzalo de Salerno. You were looking after a city, so sad that you're dead, but you haven't done too much. You've just been there to grow the city population with your chivalry, which in fairness, he has done. So good work. We'll keep that growing. We'll just get ballista towers in case of future attacks. Yes, we don't know if the Timurids later will come south or very north. So we'll have to see about that, but we'll be ready for them in that eventuality. So we'll keep ending our turns and we'll see what else comes up. Also, Tunis Kairi in Tunis in a deal, I think you'll find that is. Yeah, I think he was just laying down watchtowers. So yes, he's laid down his last watchtower. Shame for him. He was an older man when he joined us, which is why he never joined the wars. So we will leave him to be remembered by someone, probably like this lad who's just putting on watchtowers. He's not even old, it's just his job. So I like watchtowers, damn it. We're going to make sure we can see the Empire, and hopefully the Mongols would be a little bit more aggressive. They have not been more aggressive, I think it's fair to say, and it's weird because against the rebels they don't seem to attack us at all. Other factions, they'll go well out of their way just to go and poke at some rebels. But no, the Mongols, even though they're still at war with us, they just ignore us. They've not attacked me once. They've not attacked either of these towns. In fact, this is now a fortress. Osman is... I'm actually building the mosque just to get us a little bit closer, but we're not far away either. They take much longer. We'll have double fortress for them here at the border, but I am going to try and take out a few of these. However, I think we will leave that for next time. So as I lower down the game music for the channel music, yes, I think we're going to have a big old chunky affair over here. Corbin the Mean, along with Sex's army of nonsense bodyguards, and Farage as well, just to try and take out a couple of them. If we can take another two out, we will, and we'll leave what remains to hopefully bother going towards some sort of target. I'd like to vary up the battles. If they won't vary it up, I'll bring some specific armies to make it particularly silly. But we will see how all of that goes. It's probably worth mentioning, though, that in the time that has passed, we have lost Kamanos, we've lost Abdelmiki, we've lost Rage, we've lost Oxinta, who's maybe not as important as those others, but we've lost a fair few, because time is passing by. Pontius the Mean is looking meaner and angrier over there in Osman. He wants a fight, damn it. But you know what? We do indeed have Colbane left. He's going to be here. He's the last of the trio left of the Doom Warriors. So we'll see if he can defeat the Mongol threat. For now, though, I will leave you. I'm Thomas, this is Thursday Human, and this has been our Mongol campaign. Wait a minute, that's the wrong campaign, Thomas. And this is the Rebel campaign taking on the Mongols on Medieval 2 Total War. Thank you, and tally-ho. On to this lovely juicy murder. Here's the assassin. do. Of course, there's a nice simple way of getting rid of the truce. Bon appetit, yas mats. We're so good at murder. It's just beautiful. I'm a horrible person. If at first you don't succeed, then murder and murder again.